What's up, guys? This is Ray. Welcome to Asian Films, and today we'll be talking about the 2011 South Korean film Sector 7, directed by Kim Ji-Hoon and starring Ha Ji-won and An Sung-ki. Sector 7, it's a monster sci-fi thriller horror mishmash, and I don't know if you guys know, but I love my monster movies. I have absolute fun with them. I know it's a genre that often doesn't take itself seriously, and it's always a good time, and I think that's what Sector 7 is. It's not a good movie by any kind of definitions, long story short, but it's a movie that, you know, if you go into it knowing you're going to be watching a monster movie that's going to be chasing after people and bodies are going to drop gradually, then you know, and you have fun with that kind of genre, then you know the kind of experience you're going to be into, and I'm pretty sure you know you'll have a great time. The story of Sector 7, the entirety of the story takes place on this offshore deep sea oil drilling rig platform of sorts, and starts Ha Ji-won, as I said earlier. Her character's name is Cha Hae-jun, and she is a member of this small but dedicated team of experts who are trying to dig for oil. But suddenly this team is attacked by this man-killing sea monster, and one by one each of the team members start to get killed off, and nobody really knows the origin of this sea monster, perhaps maybe except this newly arrived captain. But it's basically up to Ha Ji-won to save the day. So as with the positives of Sector 7, well, first of all, Ha Ji-won, I mean, I love her. Like, I don't know if she's entirely active nowadays. It's been a while. You know, I haven't really watched as many Korean movies as what I used to. But I remember she was pretty active, especially around the time that Sector 7 was released. And she was one of my go-to actresses in Korean cinema. And this movie, it does a great job at making her look like a badass action heroine. I'm pretty sure that's the main purpose of this movie. The reason why it was made to begin with. It's to make Ha Ji-won an action hero. And they do. I think they do an excellent job at doing that. And they made her look essentially like Ripley from Alien. You know, you got the badass heroine who's going to take down this monster from harming her friends. I think Ha Ji-won, her character, is befitting of that type of archetype of action heroine. I mean, she's rebellious, she doesn't do well with authority, and she fights for her friends, and she knows in her heart what's right. And helping out, making her look like an action heroine, you get plenty of like low angle shots, especially when she's pointing a gun or riding a motorcycle. You know, all the action shots and all the angles are there. I also enjoyed the ragtag gang of supporting characters, and you know, I like each character, even though I can't really remember their names. You definitely remember the archetype. I think you got all the major types of characters covered in this group. You know, you have the rookie who's kind of new to everything. You have the selfish team leader. You have the guy who holds secrets. You even have kind of like the special needs kind of person. I don't know exactly what's wrong with him. They don't really explain, but he kind of comes off as like this mumbling, just a strange mumbling dude who's trying to get at the hot scientist. I think, you know, I enjoy the variety of characters they have, and one thing I especially liked is that they do take time to let you know more, not essentially the backgrounds of these characters, but let you know these characters' personalities, get you connected with them, so when the monster finally does start attacking, you do kind of start to feel sad a bit, because you know you pick a favorite, whether it be the hot scientist or whether it be the comic reliefs. You know, you get to like at least one or more of the characters here, so you really feel for them when they start to get picked off. I also dug the action sequences. There are plenty of just high octane and entertaining sequences, whether it be fighting or running away from the monster, or even just going on motorcycles. There's a lot of just cheesy action cliches, I might say, but just fun nonetheless. And although it's a bit overused in this movie, it does utilize a bit of slow motion scenes for maximum dramatic effect. And if you just know that it's cheesy and not serious at all, then I think you can dig it too. I'm also kind of fond of the monster design. You know, it's unique and scary. It's like a mutant hybrid between something aquatic, like fish, aquatic animals, a lizard, but it also has some tentacles coming out of it, and just lots and lots of teeth. There's a lot of stuff going on with this monster. You know, I dig it. As far as the negatives are concerned with Sector 7, well, a lot of the special effects are just, you know, it didn't age well, especially, well, you know, first of all, the CG. The CG, you know, the CG and also a lot of the soundstage effects, you know, every scene with Haji-won on a motorcycle or anything on the surface of this oil rig, everything was done on the soundstage against a blue or green screen, and you can tell. And the way everything was put together, it ranks among some of the best B movies. I say, it's nothing like high in quality as what we would be used to in Western movies or Hollywood movies. But, I guess it gets the job done. But yeah, this going back to the CG, it doesn't age well. It's still pretty bad. And one thing I thought that the movie could have used to be a bit better in the sense to go to eat up in its overall cheesiness, it could have used a lot more one-liners from Haji-won. A lot more, one of those cliche 90s action movie one-liners. Pretty much like when they're fighting against a monster, they're either running away or yelling at each other, but they're not saying like the cool action hero one-liners that make this genre of movie entertaining. And this movie could have definitely used that. And lastly, the movie was just dark. I mean, many scenes were shot at night. And of course they take place on the surface, and they're just kind of dark and it's a bit hard to see at times. And from what I understand, this movie was initially made to be shown in 3D, back when 3D was starting to get more popular. And I don't know, if I were to have watched this movie in 3D, I'm sure I would have gotten a headache from anything that was shot in the dark. I mean, shot at night in the surface. And even sometimes some of the scenes that happen inside the oil rig, I don't know, I don't know if it's a good fit for dark, like the dark scenery and the 3D. I don't know if it blends well. But overall, what I have to say about Sector 7, it's a fun, cheesy action sci-fi horror movie. If you know what you're getting yourself into, then, by all means, go ahead. This movie spends as much time showing its characters running away and screaming in fear from the monsters as it does show Haji-won as a badass action heroine. It's a mishmash of everything. It's really messy, but it's all in good fun and entertainment. And, because of that, I can half recommend this movie. It's definitely not a good movie by any kind of definitions, but it is a fun and entertaining one. It's almost to the point, I did consider this movie like a so bad it's good kind of thing, just because of how cheesy and over the top these action sequences and all these like badass shots of Haji-won in her grimacing face. Immediately she was cool and badass, and everything just kind of clashed together. And it's messy, like I said, but it's all in fun, all in good fun. Yes, those are my thoughts on Sector 7. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you really dig my content, please know you can support Asian Films via Patreon from as little as $1. And that's about it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.